on for Stack. Touched the ball under his feet momentarily, but the run off the ball was excellent from the German. Before the foul. Good spell of possession up for Leeds.
Been impressed with the way that Leeds have started, especially the performance so far of Anton Stack coming into that midfield, playing as the most advanced of the three. That time getting in advance of Joel Perreault, showing that he's not afraid to run in behind that last striker, give himself a goal-scoring opportunity. He's brought a lot of height to the side, but he's also bringing an attacking presence as well in behind that main striker.
James. Schmidt. Stack for Perreault. Across comes Estepinian, who was alert to the threat. Pavlovic closed down quickly by James, who wanted to steal it off him. Still would never do so. For the turn. It goes against Leeds United, who by the end of that had 3 players over the man in possession.
Good pressing from Leeds as well. You can see there's a trigger. There's a point where they all set and they all go into press together. 3 Leeds United players around. Win the ball back illegally according to the referee. The way that Leeds have started, I thought we saw a shape there from AC Milan. They were very sacrificial when they weren't in possession. Sat very deep, a back 5, 4 in front, and that's credit to Leeds the way that they've started this game. As soon as they've had the possession, AC Milan sit in that shape and say, go on then, try and break us down. I'm not so sure that's something that Leeds will come up against that much this year in the Premier League. But again, it shows AC Milan's defensive thoughts.
Some error from teenager Magny, under-19 international, who played a handful of games last season for Milan, particularly the first team, but his games were in the reserve side, which is full of youngsters. Here comes Okafor onto Estepinian. Jimenez waits in the centre, but the cross was flashed across the 6-yard box instead. Perry didn't need to get a touch on that.
They've had some joy down their own left-hand side, AC Milan, down Leeds United right. Schmidt again gets caught with a run up. Joe Rodon doesn't know whether to go or stick. Ends up doing neither. Goalkeeper actually does well because I think he pulls out of trying to put a hand on that. If he puts a hand on that, he palms it into Jimenez, who taps it into an empty net. Good piece of work from Lucas Perry, the goalkeeper, simply by pulling his hand away and allowing that ball to go across his 6-yard box.
And is that sometimes the hardest thing to do as a goalkeeper, not to try and get a touch to it?
Is it? I was good at that one.
I know you
I was good at that
one.
That's what the net was there for, to stop me running for the ball. No, it is. There's certain saves and there's certain areas that you go into as a goalkeeper and you think you can see out the corner of your eye. If you're going to make a save, you're going to make a save and push it into your box. If your spatial awareness is good and you know where you are, you leave it and allow it to run dead and the ball goes out. Because by making half a save or putting half a hand on it, you're causing yourself more problems.
Feeding Musa, the American. Musa hasn't stopped him. Magny. Crazy. Very good work from Stack. He's caught the eye in the opening 20 minutes here. Anton Stack. £17 million signing from Hoffenheim. Played in the Europa League last season against Spurs. Was that one of the games that you covered?
I did see him play last year. Really good forward-thinking player. Like I said, I think Leeds United, the recruitment this season has gone more Moneyball style, if you like, looking at stats, looking at figures, statistics of players in other league that may not necessarily stack up in the Premier League, but actually the eye test and Anton's stack thus far, I've been very, very impressed with it.
Musa for Milan. Magni. And Salah, the youngest in the team at just 17 years of age. Pavlovic. The four. Gone for the return. Luka Modric amongst the many Milan subs today, and we are told that he will get on at some stage. Of course, they've got another game tomorrow. I've never heard of that. Two friendlies in 2 days?
In 2 countries. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it? And I think you can see that. No disrespect to anybody, but it's a very much changed AC Milan side. It's not a strong side today and a weak side tomorrow. It's a very much a mixed side today and a mixed side tomorrow, isn't it? There's a couple of big names playing today, and there's a couple of big names that are obviously going to play tomorrow.
Chance on the counter-attack here for Leeds United if they can use it wisely. Barker forced a little wider than maybe he wanted to. He's got non-to-end support, and they've got many bodies back now. In fact, they've got everybody back behind the ball.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You see how deep they are now. You look at the striker there, Jimenez. He's the most advanced player, and he's still in their own defensive third. That's something that the new managers worked with them in this short space of pre-season. All 11 players there crammed in their own defensive third. As soon as they lose the ball, retreat to shape and say, go on then, break us down.
Massimiliano Allegri, brought in May for his second spell in charge of Milan. In his first spell, he won his title in his first season. That was back in 2010-11. 5 titles since then that he's won at Juventus before being sacked at the end of the season before last. Purdue. To stretch the legs out to that. The biggest chance, of course, for Juventus. Who starts in Ers for Leeds, of course, a week on Monday night. Everton at Ellen Road. And Arsenal away before Newcastle come to Yorkshire. It's not the easiest of starts for the Premier League new boys. Also working with that too, but got the cannons, and it's a simple catch for Fairchild.
It's a tough start for Leeds when you look at it on paper, isn't it? But I think when you get to the Premier League level, you spoke earlier, you touched about the last 2 seasons. The 3 promoted teams came straight back down again. I think none more so than last year was that more evident how difficult it is to break in. Leicester City were the best of the rest, and they had 25 points. Tottenham, who won't finish down there again this year, they had 38 points. So there's a 13-point difference between the bottom 3 and actually being in the Premier League. And it was done with what, 4 games to go this season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that part of the season was, that part of the Premier League was resolved much earlier than 4 games to go, because they were so far adrift and playing so badly. That bottom 3 looked as though they were going down by January, February. I saw Leicester quite a lot last season, and they were dreadful. And they were the least worst of the 3 that went down. And
then when you look at the league, I mean, to break out the bottom 3, the ceiling above that bottom 3 was Tottenham, Wolves, Manchester United, West Ham, Everton. That's the ceiling you've got to break through to get into this league. Now, I don't for 1 minute think that Manchester United and Tottenham will be down there again this season. They'll be looking at the likes of maybe Brentford or Wolves. Maybe that could be the low-hanging fruit that you're trying to pick off. But the point I'm making is it's getting ever so harder to break into that Premier League elite, what, 17?
Mr. Pignan, can he nudge that on? Well, he tried to do so, and in doing so, he was just clipped. It will be a free kick, and they want to take it quickly because there's a lot of space far side for Okafor, but Leeds have a man down, and it's as though we're going to need some treatment here before we can continue. I was mentioning earlier about Manchester United and Milan in the same question. We were talking about Milan not being in Europe this season, Manchester United ditto as well, and it just made me think about Rasmus Højlund, who's been strongly linked with a move to Milan. Obviously scored a lot of goals in that league with Atalanta not that long ago. Had a miserable campaign last year. Do you think that he's got the tools to be a force with Milan?
Listen, I think he's a player. I think there is a player in there. I think he's still very, very young. It was a difficult time for him last year because he was playing in the Manchester United side, who were constantly under scrutiny. In Europe, I covered them a lot, watched them in the final, and I thought the way their style the manager's wedded to his style, and he's not going to go away from that. And that didn't suit Højlund. And then when the goals dried up for him, he went through that spell without scoring. The weight of the jersey became too heavy for him. And I think we may go somewhere else, get a new lease of life. And I do think there's a quality striker in there, but I think we found it very difficult at Manchester United for many reasons. At AC Milan, does that apply? It potentially does. I think with Šeško going into Manchester United, their recruitment in the final third has been excellent. You know, Cunha, Šeško, you look at Bruno Fernandes in that number 10 role, Brian Mbeumo. Defensively, you'd like to think from their point of view they're going to recruit again, but I think Højlund will potentially be the next one out the door, yes.
Back underway, it's going to start having that treatment. That was okay to carry on. Before won't keep that in. Interesting today that even though they've got loads of subs on their bench, there's no place this afternoon for Rafael Leao and Christian Pulisic. Looking forward to seeing those two, but they're not involved. Great pictures here as Leeds United take over this part of Dublin.
I think that probably happened at some point mid-morning yesterday, didn't it?
And I have to stress that you were not involved in that takeover.
Absolutely not, no. I think that strategically flew out of a different airport other than Leeds and arrived very late.
Smith has carried it well. James, who's flashed sporadically. That's a dangerous ball in, but almost brought Pavlovic out. And so we'll keep it in. He's done well. Applauded by Goodmanson for that hard work. So much of football is about partnerships, isn't it? And if Goodmanson and Gnonto can strike up a decent relationship down this left-hand side, that could be so useful.
I think it's going to be a really clever signing, Goodmanson. I think obviously Junior Firth had a really good season last year in the Championship, but he did the previous season to the Premier League in the Championship. And I think he got found out defensively in the Premier League.
No foul charge on Jones, so Okafor can carry it forward here from Milan. It's a ball in the shape of Charlotte. Some of his new teammates, having they signed about 48 hours ago from Club Brugge.
Good player, isn't he? He's going to be some player. He's Belgian player of the season last year.
Okafor's cross. Headed by Goodmanson because he got threats behind him. Chicoze was trying to get in there. Start nicely composed as he finds Perry, who can look towards halfway. Pavlovic lost the flight of that. James putting pressure on Estepinian.
I think what they've paid for Ardon Jashari in today's market, it's an extremely good deal for AC Milan, I really do.
Back to last time Leeds United were in the top flight pool. They had a great start. They took 7 points from their first 3 games, and final victory in that session was 3-0 over Chelsea. There were real high hopes about how the team might fare in the Premier League. And it just went disastrously wrong, didn't it?
It's difficult. I think a losing run is a lot harder to get out of than a winning run when confidence is a factor. And when you're in that relegation, listen, I've been relegated from the Premier League twice, been promoted to it once. When you are in that relegation zone, you're constantly looking at other people's results. And it's as much of a mind game as anything else. Very, very difficult to concentrate on your own performance and focus solely on that. And the pressure does mount. The one big weapon that Leeds United have got going into the Premier League is Ellen Road. It's an absolute fortress, and it will be again this season. Regardless of what league Leeds United are in, that place is packed to the rafters on the first game of every season, whether that be League 1, 2, wherever it is. And in the Premier League, it'll be full every week.
Okafor. Estepinian lets it run, and the chance is there, and it's buried by Jimenez. AC Milan take the lead. 30 minutes on the clock. And Leeds failed to deal with the ball in from the left-hand side. And Jimenez had found space and was not going to miss that chance. Perry beaten for the first time in goal for Leeds United. It's Leeds United 0, AC Milan 1.
Good finish at the end when it comes to Jimenez, but the worrying thing for Leeds United, once again it's come from AC Milan's left, Leeds United's right. Schmidt this time doesn't get tight enough. Rodon caught in no man's land. It's a simple ball across the tiniest of touches at the near post. Deflects the ball into Jimenez's path. Simplest of tasks. Tucks it away really nicely. Defensively, you analyse that from a Leeds United point of view, they've got the bodies back, haven't picked up, haven't defended in the right areas. And again, it's come from that left-hand side.
Muted celebrations amongst those Milan supporters. Not greatly surprised given the fact they're heavily outnumbered.
Is that the away section? It does feel a little bit like that, doesn't it?
Santiago Jimenez, the Mexican, with the goal then. Joined the club in February. Managed to record a few goals in limited appearances, including one against his former team Feyenoord in the Champions League. It's a foul on Goodmanson here. And also was eager to get the free kick taken quickly. Yeah. A chance to take it again, obviously.
He's strong, Goodmanson. Like I say, I think he'll be a good addition. Very good experience with Lille. Played a good fee for him. 26-year-old Swedish international. I think he'll be a real asset to Leeds in the Premier League. Like I said about Junior Firpo, played extremely well last year. Give him his credit. I think in the Premier League he got exposed. He was culpable, he was at fault for a lot of goals, and the teams seemed to target Leeds down that left-hand side. But when he was in the Championship, it was almost like that was his ceiling. And Leeds have realised that he's moved on. But in Goodmanson, I think they've got an excellent recruit.
4 years at Lille before his move to England, and Champions League experience last season. The Champions League he was involved in was that win over Real Madrid. So he's got some pedigree. Regular in the Sweden team now. Dad used to play in the Premier League, didn't he, as well, with Blackburn Rovers. For Shari for Milan. Characteristically effective backtracking and then persistence. And ultimately, he has conceded a free kick.
It's frustrating that from a player's point of view and a fan's point of view, and the two players are tussling for the ball, and one of them stops, almost refereeing the game himself. Stops, throws his arms up in the air, looks at the referee, almost says to the referee, "Go on, blow the whistle." And the referee at that point hadn't blown the whistle.
Chukwueze with this free kick. It was his cross that ultimately led to the goal, and it was that little flicker across the 6-yard box that helped. Deep delivery. That's on its way by Rodon. So he was way behind a week ago against Villarreal and came back to level matters in the second half. Something they'll need to emulate today if they're not to pick up their first defeat of their pre-season campaign. Shari. Repeats of the ball that they stick this in. A lot of space again on that left-hand side. That should be the keepers. Looking for Monto. Brilliant work from him, and Stack looking to help it on swiftly for Pirro. Out comes Terracciano again.
It's definitely work in progress, isn't it? Gnonto and Stack, Pirro. The understanding that's already building between those three in this game. Good piece of goalkeeping from Lucas Perry. Manded his box. That's something that Leeds have missed in recent months at the end of last season. Good distribution. Again, it's Stack who's the one that's got the forward thinking to get in and support Willy Gnonto.
Pirro. Tanaka, James's burst in the right into the middle. Options to that right-hand side. Schmidt had it briefly. Now to do.
Just closed the space, didn't he, Dan James? I mean, we can see here from our high elevated position in this fantastic arena. You get a great view of the pitch. It's almost like a Sabutio pitch from up here. You can see the run that Dan James made. He just cut all the options off.
James. Vincent. Lovely ball. Alonso. Away. Salah.
Excellent play again from Leeds United down on his near touchline. Interchange between Gudmundsson and Willian Yonto. Very tight, very close, intricate play. Good 1-2. Decent block in the end from Salah. Leeds United the corner.
Two players up the pitch here, so that's forced Gnonto and Schmidt to come back. In goes the kick, punched away Tatiano. Reach Okafor. Can they use this wisely, the Italian side? It's through the goal scorer Jimenez. Back to Chukwueze. Back peddling. Gnonto first time, but not second time.
Good defender from Yonto. Shows his attributes and his skill in the opposition third. It shows what Daniel Farke asked of him in the defensive third. Got to put a shift in if you're playing in the wide positions.
Just opinion once again. It's the freedom of the Aviva momentarily. Knew that it just flipped off his thigh, and it will be a Milan corner.
He's struggling at the moment, Schmidt, with his positional awareness, his pitch awareness, positional sense. He doesn't know whether to go out to the wide player Estepinian or stay tight, tucked in narrow as a back four. That time he was narrow. Lovely ball out to Estepinian. He had acres of space. Schmidt had to try and keep it in. A lot of joy down that left-hand side, AC Milan.
Chukwueze will take this. Pavlovic in the 6-yard box, just behind Perry at the moment. He was darting forward from the penalty spot. It's in towards Jimenez.
Concerning from a Leeds point of view. Look at that packed 6-yard box full of white shirts. Only black and red shirt there almost gets a free header. It's in between the Leeds United defending with a strike. All road on team to pick them up. Forced it in with a free header on target.
What's left? Instant the referee has spotted. Just kind of halfway there. And run with the player down here. Blows the head there from Stack under the nose of the referee, so he wasn't going to let that go.
I've been impressed with Stack, what I've seen to him. He's got that side to him as well. Talked about his creativeness and forward running in the final third, but also he's not afraid to put his foot in to make a challenge. There's a sturdiness, a resilience about him.
Some strength in the midfield now, haven't they, in those roles, with Sean Longstaff having signed. We'll see him in the second half, and Ilya Gruev, the Bulgarian, who had a decent campaign last term as well.
Absolutely, I think they've recruited well. I think they've recruited solidly. I think obviously before now and the end of the window, Daniel Farke spoke quite openly about he wanting an attacker or two. But it was a message to the fans, but it was a message to those above him that he needs that player in before the window closes. But actually the strength that they've got in midfield, Tanaka, Ampadu, Gruev, Longstaff, Stack, Gnonto, Aronson as well, he's still at the club. I mean, he's another one, a bit like Firpo, that the Premiership passed him by.
Continues to struggle down that far side. He's missed the flight of that. Unable to capitalise to the maximum. didn't start a single game in the Championship last term, Isaac Schmidt. Frequently used as a sub, but his only starts came in the FA Cup. Here come Leeds again with that man snapped through the middle. He takes over. Monto. Stopped him in his touch by Jashari. And Chukwueze takes over for Milan, looking to increase their advantage. Musa, brilliantly done. Trying the pass that was needed. In the way. It's another corner though.
Good play from Musa, this time on the right-hand side. AC Milan again in the wide areas. Look how narrow the two Leeds United centre-halves are in the middle of the pitch. So close, which encourages the full-backs to then narrow in. If they're going to do that, OK, that's all well and good, but then you've got to get Gnonto and Dan James in front of those to block those spaces, and that's something that they haven't done in this game.
Chukwueze tapping that near post this time. Initially, he's able to get it through. It's a good ball too to Gnonto. James is dashing forward. If Gnonto can put it into a decent area, he's done his best, but once again, Terracciano is alert to the threat. He hasn't found touch. James will keep it in.
Excellent from Gnonto again. Very aware of where Dan James was. Recycled the ball quickly, tried to get it into his path.
Since Leeds struck the bar in the 10th minute through Stack, threatened at all, and have slowly taken control of proceedings. And we're going for the last few moments before the half-time whistle, and then we'll see an awful lot of changes to personnel at half-time and then throughout the second period as well, as both coaches take stronger looks at other players at their disposal. For Goodmanson. Hero waits in the middle. It's a good ball, well dealt with by Gavia. All of his experience to deal with that. Nice feet from Musa. Struik for Stack. Goodmanson. Too strong, but Schmidt will keep it alive. Terrell has come out of the box to try and help him here. He will shoot. Awkward pass. Terracciano does ever so well with the second ball, but the flag is up anyway. Just as Tanaka was looking to prod it home, Terracciano clears, but the flag has gone up anyway. It wouldn't have counted.
It was a decent strike, wasn't it? Troubled the goalkeeper. Managed to get it away at a second attempt. Rebound wouldn't have counted. Joe Perreault just dips in front of the goalkeeper. Difficult one, because in these weather conditions in pre-season, the pitches get heavily watered before the game, and they actually dry out, and you do get the wet, zippy spots in the pitch where the ball sits up. You could see there it just sat up in front of Terracciano. Did well, the goalkeeper.
35 years of age now, Pietro Terracciano. It's on a one-year deal from Fiorentina. Twice reached the Conference League final. Both occasions finished on the losing side.
Good signing as a free, isn't it? His experience of what Man United will play.
Well, that will do it.